So guys, this is a continuation video of web services framework using REST assured, right? So in my previous video, uh, I spoke about how to make a get call and how to verify the data, right? That was one way to do that. Another way, assume that you have lot more records and you want to verify all your get calls, like whether your all get calls are right or wrong. So even there is other way actually you can do that. Let's say if you want to make sure that whenever you are trying to retrieve the data based on the ID, whether your data is right or wrong, so you can achieve in different ways, right? So what you can do is you can store all the data whenever you are doing verify get countries, right? You can store all the data on the runtime, and same data when you will try to get right, it will get verified, right? It will get verified. Now our important the lesson is, and before to start I will request you to all watch my previous video. Watch this watch list, right? It has 5 videos here. So web services framework using REST assured, so I have already made 5 videos, and this is the sixth one which I am going to make today, right? This is my YouTube URL and this is my playlist for REST assured, and this is brief about me, right? And this is my Facebook page, so if you like my Facebook page, you'll get all the updates what I make, right? Now I'll start with the coding part. So what I'll do here is I will not verify country here, right? I'll just verify the ID. I will just verify the ID because I know that these are the IDs which will get in the response. So I will not make array list here. What I will do is there is alternative way to do that, right? There is alternative way to do that. One will be country, and I will make one more array list to store all my population of the country, right? So here I will make populations, right? Now as I know that for every ID in the response it has the country name as well as it has the population name. So what I will do is in my before class I will make the array list, right? Now I'm just creating the object of array list in my before class. Sorry, should be array list. Right, so now this is done. I have created the object. Now what I will do is for the country I will store the country here. So country dot add. Inside add, what I will do is I have this class reference, right? I have made the class reference of the Pojo class. So this get country it is a reference of get countries. So what is get countries? See, get countries is nothing but this your Pojo class, right? Get countries is nothing but your Pojo class, which has your getters and setters, right? Which has your get ID, set ID, get country name, and set country name, get population, and set populations, right? So getters are setters, right? So basically when we are making the object of that particular class, we can access the method of that class, right? As we know that when we make the object of that class, we can access the method of the class. So this is my reference get countries. Here again I can do -1. Why -1? Because index starts from the 0 and I am starting I from 1 just to make sure that I am verifying the country ID, right? So dot get country name, I'm adding here, right? I'm adding here. Similarly I will add the population also. I will add the get country, get population, I will add here, and in fact, so get population is basically a integer. So here I have made type is equal to a string, so this will not take. So what I will do, I will make type as an object, so object will take everything. So the moment I will make type as an object, object takes string also, object takes integer also. That is the reason I told you guys be good with the Java, because you never know what you have to use, right? So here I'm supplying type is equal to object. Now this object will take any type. Now in fact what I'll do is, so instead of country, I did here wrong, I need to write here populations. Now in fact I will make one more array list to store the ID on the runtime, right? So here I can write country ID, and I can make here the object of that country ID, right? Done. This 3 is done. Even I will store the country ID dot add so here I will do get ID. So now what I'm doing it, I'm storing all the data on the runtime, right? I'm storing all the data on the runtime. I'll just put a debug point here so that you guys will understand what I'm trying to say. That I'll just put a debug point here. Okay, I'll just debug this. Just press F8, got executed. Okay, no problem. Again I will debug that. Here it is waiting. F8, F8, F8. 3 times I did. Okay, I will not do 4 times because it will come out of that for loop. So if you look at here now, see country 3 countries are stored here. In populations, corresponding populations are stored here, and in country ID your IDs are stored here. So I'll do one more time effort. Now all 4 country will be stored here, all population ID will be stored here, country ID will be only 3. Why? Because it is still pointing here. So if I'll do F6, now your ID also will have 4, populations also will have 4, and country also will have 4. So F8 guys, when you will press F8, basically what happens is it will execute your full piece of code, and it will wait to the next breakpoint. So here what is happening is, the moment I am pressing F8, it is executing this, it is waiting here this breakpoint. Again when I am pressing F8, it is executing full things, it is waiting here, right? So again this is Java stuff. You need to know the debugging concepts, right? Without debugging, actually it's very hard to do web services design. Debugging is very important key skills, right? So you need to understand debugging. Now I have stored everything. Now what I will do is, I will construct data provider for that, because I want to get every country based on ID, right? I want to get every country based on ID. So I will write public void and data here, get country by ID. This is my data provider, right? I'm going to make a data provider, and here what I will do is, I will make a result is equal to new, sorry, so here I have to write result. I'm creating 2-dimensional array, right? So instead of supplying the size here, what I will do is, so what I will do here is I'll create the object of the array, and here also it is the object of the array. Basically the data provider, basically it consumes the data which has return type of an object of array, right? Which has return type of object of array. Now what I will do is, since I have country ID, so I am making data provider for the country ID. Now I can do here one thing, I can write here dot length, right? No size, yeah, because it's a array list size. And here I can supply basically I can supply since I'm constructing a data provider, so I just want one row and one column, so I can supply one. Now my data provider is ready. Now what I can do is, I can just run a for loop. Okay, here I can just write one for loop, and this will basically will create my data provider. So what I will do is, I will write int I is equal to 0 and I less than result dot length, right, and I plus plus. Now this result basically, right, I will store the data based on I, right, and here I will keep first row first column always, and here my data should be, so how we need to store data is, it should be in the form of a string. So what I can do is, so since I have to retrieve the data, right, so I need to have the country ID for that. So since I'm constructing a data provider, so what I can do is, I can write here is equal to basically the country ID dot get of 0, right, and this method should return this result. Don't worry guys, I will explain you what I'm trying to do here. Okay, I know you'll be a bit confused. So here, since I'm returning a result, right, and your method return type is a void, so but I'm trying to return object of 2D array, right, so even I have to change my return type. So just place mouse over here, click on this return. So here your return type should be object of 2D array, because you know that your method return type and method type should be same, right? So now this method is returning 2D object. Now here I will write at data provider, and here I can write name is equal to double quote, we need to write get country by ID. So this I have made an data provider, right? This I have made one data provider, right? Here I can write here, enter this data provider is used to validate country details, right? So I can verify like this, or I can do one thing, I can create this is as a first one row with 3 columns, so I can store all 3 data here, right? First row first column, first row second column, and first row third column. And here instead of country ID I can write here population dot get, so I'll have everything on the runtime. And then here I can do country name, here I can do just country, right? So what I am trying to do here is, for this country ID I have populations also, I have country, so I know that for this ID the country name should be this and population should be this, that I know that. and this I am preparing a data provider for that, right? So here in the test I can write here data provider is equal to, I can give here data provider name get country by ID, right? Now what will happen, my data provider has three data provider has three columns. See, I is equal to first row, first column, first row, second column, first row, third column. Again this will repeat, right, for every row. So this requires basically three argument. So country ID, population and country. So if you look at here, what I can do is I can make again here as an string. Actually I can supply a country ID as an string, but here the problem is here I have country ID as an object, right? Here I have country ID as an object. So but still I can write here string ID, that is my first variable, string population, and I can write one other thing is a string country. So since my data provider has three column, I have to make these three argument to my test, and this basically guys come from what we call is um, this is Selenium concept, not Selenium, TestNG concept. So if you don't know how to work with data provider, I have made one video. So if you go to my this Selenium videos, right, you will click on that. So you will have something called data provider concept in Selenium. Please watch this video, okay, if you are not aware of data provider. So this is done. Yeah, now here in get resource, instead of ID I will supply this ID here, okay? So based on this ID this will get called response. Here I'll just remove this. Now what I'll do is, in fact this is also not required now, right? So what I can do is I can write if, so for every ID basically we need to verify the details. So I can write here if response dot get status code is equal to 200. If it is a 200, so I need to verify basically the data of the response, right? So again we can make one JSON, we can make one object of JSON here. So we can make one object of JSON here, and what we can do is we can make the reference of this class. But now one thing we need to understand here, see, now here I'm not going to make the reference as an array because I am trying to do get, right? I'm trying here get based on ID. So one time we will get only one country informations, right? One time we will get only one country informations, we will not get multiple country informations. So I am just making a variable, single variable, right? Now if a status code is 200, I'll copy this and I'll just paste it here. Instead of array I will just make normal class. Now this is done. Now what I can do is I can put here assertions, right? I can put here assertions. So I can put here assertion saying that, so here I can supply my POPU population, and whatever coming is from response I can, so dot, what I can do is get countries dot we have something called get populations, right? That method is available, and similarly we can verify the country name also, right? Get populations, and we can do here get country name, right? This is done. This is done. So this script basically it will run, you know how many times it will run? 4 times based on the number of records in the data provider. That's how the data provider works. Guys, please watch data provider video before watching this, otherwise you will not understand what I am trying to say, all that, right? So it is better for you guys is please watch data provider video. I'm putting a debug point so that I will show you. And this is my data provider video inside my playlist. So what you can do is you can just log in with your Gmail, you browse my site, this YouTube, you will go to this URL, and then you have something called Cinium videos. Open this videos and you'll have data provider concept site. Now I will just debug this and I will see what is happening. Test. So some 4 failures I'm getting here. I need to see. Oh, verify get by ID. It's getting failed. Okay, I need to see the kind of failure. So I'll debug that. So it is getting failure. So if I'll go test ng report, here I can see that verify country by ID. Okay, argument type mismatch. Okay, argument type mismatch, which means my argument is not matching. It is saying that argument type mismatch, because in data provider the data what we have and the argument which we are trying to supply here is not matching, right? Is not matching. So we need to work on our data provider. Like in data provider we have sorry, in the test we have a string, and in the data provider we have something called object to object. So what I'll do here, I'll put one debug point here also, and I better debug that. So I'll see what data is getting stored to the data provider. That is very important, right? So anyways, this will get executed, this will not halt. So here if you look at this data provider, some data is getting stored here, right? So I will debug this one more time and we'll see that what is the actual problem here we are facing it. So I'll just debug that. What happens is, if you look at here result, right? So in result the data is getting stored, but the problem what I'm seeing it, everywhere you have 1000 India. So this I mean row 3 has 1000 India, again this has. Okay, so guys, I got it. The main problem what it was is, see, I am writing here get 0 get 0. So every time the though it was running into a for loop, right? But data was getting initialized with 0 0, right? So instead of 0 0 here we need to write I, so that it will depends on the I data. So when I will change, this will also change, right? So this will depends on the I. Now I will debug one more time. So let's see what happens this time. So now if I'll go here, see now 4 China, 3 Nepal, 2 Bhutan, 1 India. Now I will just do control F11. I will run this one more time. Let's see what happens this time. So for failure I am seeing that, right? I will look for test ng report. Here what it is saying that, okay, illegal argument exceptions, argument type mismatch. So somewhere type is not matching. Okay, it is saying that illegal argument exception, that we need to figure out why it is coming illegal argument exception. Now we need to see why we are getting illegal argument exception. So okay, so illegal argument exceptions, here I am supplying a string and a string country, right? So here I think id and country, it is saying that illegal argument exception. So argument, illegal argument exceptions, why it is coming, we need to see that where we are doing wrong, right? Because here we are converting, here we are supplying into data provider, right? So here our data provider is ready and this data provider returns of object, right? Okay, okay, got it. So since this country name is always a string, so what I'll do is, instead of object I will keep a string. I think that is causing issue for us. I'll keep a string. Populations is basically a integer, so I will keep here integer, and country id is also integer, so I will keep here integer. Let's see what happens now. Control F11. Now it should not come. Let's see what happens. Again it is failing. Again same exception, I think. Argument type mismatch, so type is not matching. Okay, that's fine. To do that, to make sure that type should match, what we will do is we will put one debug point actually. So okay, or we can do one thing to match the type mismatch. So okay, I will just debug that one more time. Let's see what happens. Okay, so till here is fine. Result, we have the data. So if I click, yeah, result, we have data. Now I'll do F6, F8. Okay, so the moment it is going to that method, it is getting failed. So somewhere we are doing wrong. So string id it will take, and instead of a string id, so this if I'll keep integer, because I did this, the first is integer, this is also integer, but get resource path, what it takes a string data. Okay, simple. So since that will take a string data, so what we can do is internally we can parse it. This method takes a string data, so I'll just convert it to a string. Okay, now if I'll run this, still will it come? No, got pass, right? All verifications are happening and it is getting pass. See, pass, verify, get country by id 1 is, so it is getting pass. So guys, the problem was here I have given a string id and a string populations, right? But in data provider earlier it was object, so I changed to integer. So whatever I mean type here it is, right? We need to supply the same type here, because we are constructing a data provider. So when we are constructing a data provider, basically the type of country id was integer, it was getting stored into the object array. Population was integer and country was a string. So but here I was supplying a string, right? So it was giving me illegal argument exception. Now I'll show you by running into debug mode, so that you will understand better how this data provider works. So result has all data ready, so it has 1 2 3 4 columns, and sorry, 4 rows. Each row has 3 columns, right? Each row has 3 columns, see here, right? Now I'll do F6, sorry, I'll do f8. So it will go to here. It came here. So if you look at here, now what is my id? Id is equal to 1. What is population? 10,000. What is country? First, India. So this will verify. If I'll do f6, it will go inside. And if you look at this get countries dot populations, right, if you click on the populations, it had 10,000. id is equal to 1, country name is equal to India. Now I'll do f6. Again, whenever you will get this class, right, just do f8, it will come here. Again, what is the id? id 2, population is equal to 7,000, country is equal to Bhutan. Do f6. What is coming at response? So get population is 7,000, id is equal to 2, country name is equal to Bhutan. This will also get passed. f6, press again f8. So f8, what basically it will do is, the moment you will press f8, it will execute the piece of code and it will wait to the next debug point. So it is waiting here. Now what is the id? id is equal to 3, population is equal to 8, population 8,000, country is equal to Nepal. f6. So here country name, if you look at, got executed, you cannot see that. f6 and press f8. Now what is the last one? id is equal to 4, population is equal to 2,000, and country is equal to China. So do f6. So here you can check that the populations will be here on runtime also. Populations 20,000, country name will be China, right? Do f6 and f8. So this piece of code is working. So this is the alternate way where actually see these tests are passing. So this is the alternate way where you can make sure that whatever country you are retrieving is good or not. So what I did here I am verifying the countries, right? Verifying the countries. Even this verification is not required here basically. So I am verifying the country. I am restoring all the data to the array list. After that, by using this array list, I am creating a data provider. And this data, through this data provider, I am running this script, right, by id. And since this data provider has 3 records, one is first row, first column, first row, second column, first row, third column. So every record will get stored here. For every country id, country name and country population will get stored here. Now what I am doing, that I am making a get call. I am making a get country by id get call with the id. So this web services will hit to the server. It will get information for the particular id, and when the status is 200, I am initializing the Pojo class. So what is Pojo class? Pojo class, what we have created for the get country. It is nothing but getters and setters, right? So I am initializing it. After initializing, what I am doing, that is I am putting a assertion. So these populations, what I have stored when I have done get countries. So basically, so this country, right? So this data which we have stored, and this pop is nothing but it is coming from data provider. So same data, like whatever I have stored, actually I am storing to the data provider. So the moment I am storing to the data provider, and data provider has 3 columns. So this is first column, this is second column, this is third column. So my second column is population. So I am putting assertion like this is my expected populations, and the populations which is coming from in response. So response comes on the runtime. That is nothing but it comes from your Pojo class, right? Because this is I'm initializing. So this get country, the Pojo class will get initialized, and this is I'm getting on the runtime. Again country also, like what I am supplying through data provider and what I am getting at the from response at the runtime. So again I'm initializing the Pojo class and this Pojo class. So if you go inside the Pojo class, press control, click on here get countries and click on this class. So if you go inside the class, it has 3 variables: name, country name and populations, right? And this has getters and setters. So when we initialize the Pojo class, this setter will get initialized, all setter will be ready. So when you will try to get the data, right, from the response, you will get on the runtime, right? So that's how it works, right? And that's how the response it works. So if you want to see the response, like how it is getting called, you can do that syso response dot you can do that get body dot as string, right? So if I'll do is control F11, you can see that the response here printed in the console. So that's how actually the response is coming from the server, right? So for every ID, so when we are making a get call here, when we are making a get call here by the ID, response call is coming. So what I will do is SYSO, I will print the URL also. Now you can see that here clearly for every URL, see here I am fetching the URL based on the /id1. So when I am doing /id1, for id1 all informations are getting fetched from the DB. For id2 all the informations are getting fetched from the DB. For id3 all the informations are getting fetched from the DB. For id4 all the informations are getting fetched from the DB. And same thing I am putting a assertion here, right? Same thing I am putting a assertion here in pop and country, which I am supplying through data provider, and whatever is coming from the runtime I am trying to I'm trying to just put assertion, and I'm making sure that the data is correct whatever is coming from the response. So this ID, where did you get the ID? And like all three arguments, where did we get? So first what I did, I made a call to get countries. I got all the information, I stored into array list, all three array list. Then I made my data provider, right? This data provider I have made, and then based on this data provider I am doing that get country by ID, one by one I am doing that, I am putting assertions. So this is another ways, guys. So this is another ways. That's how you can understand this, and you can do the coding, right? So I think get is enough. I mean, get is over now, and in next videos we'll be talking about the post and put, right? So thank you for watching this video, and do the practice for this video, okay? And guys, I will share my Google Drive link so that you can download the source code, right? I will share you the Google Drive link. Thank you for watching. Please like my video, please subscribe my channel, please like my Facebook page. Thank you.